All right, very good. So listen, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be working on some of our basic judo stance and footwork. All right, really important. These drills, again, we talk about it all the time. These drills are good for you because they're good for you to be able to work at home on your own. If you do these, just like in kata, it's the same situation, all right? It's going to make you better. It's not an if or a maybe, it will make you better. And it's going to set you apart if you're ever a competitor. It's going to set you apart from the people that don't do this at home. Also, in self-defense, what it's going to do for you is going to make you more confident. It's going to make you more sure that when you have to go pull on that technique to make it work, it's going to work, all right? I'm a carpenter by trade. That's the first thing that I ever did, along with like skills like plumbing and electrical and things of that nature. Worked in the home improvement business for a very long time, had my own construction company, all that stuff. Nothing was worse than when I needed to go get a tool, to use the tool, and the tool was either lost, wasn't where it was supposed to be, it was in disrepair, it didn't work. Because right then and there, at that moment, we needed that specific tool, and we needed it to be able to work for us at that moment. And because it was either not there or lost, we didn't know where it was, or it was in disrepair, and it didn't work, or broke, or whatever the case might be, it wasn't reliable, whatever the case was, it held everything up and it compromised our ability to do the job that was necessary to do. So it's kind of the same thing, all right? If you need something and you go to look for it and it's not there, if you go to do it and it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work, you don't really have confidence in being able to do it. So in self-defense, you might not need this tool, you might not need this specific tool for this reason or this instance, but if self-defense does come up and you need that particular tool, then what happens is that if you know it and you know where it's at, you know how to use it, you know how it works, and you know it does work, it's going to give you confidence to be able to defend yourself and actually perform the technique the way it needs to be performed, all right? And we talk about that with you guys at the Academy all the time, that martial arts is like a big toolbox. It's a huge toolbox, all right? And the more you put into it, the more diverse you can be. If you try to build a house like in here, I tried to put all this stuff together with just a big old sledgehammer, man, it would be really hard to do, all right? Because you need a lot of different types of tools. Just in hammers, there's a ton of different types of hammers that you have to be able to do different types of jobs. And if all you have is a big old sledgehammer to try to do the job, it's not going to really work the way it needs to work. And so if you only practice one thing and you love one thing and you do one thing, man, it's not going to work. That's why in our academy, we have 4 different disciplines that are available to you. And the cool thing about this time that we have over the next few weeks is that you have access to all 4 of these things, all right? You're going to see that you have access to be able to watch Zarek's MMA class where we put all of these tools together. We covered our Judo and our striking last week. The week before, we covered our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This week, we're covering Judo. You also got to have access today to our wrestling class. You're going to see some wrestling things. Each of these things help to enhance what you're doing. They help to make you better and a more well-rounded martial artist. Also, they help you in life because they teach you how to deal with struggles and trials and details and making sure you take care of your priorities and time management and making sure that you understand the little things matter and the self-discipline of practicing and conflict resolution and understanding that you have the ability to hurt people, so it's better to work things out. Those types of things. Across the board, it helps you in your life. All right, so all 4 of these things help to make you a better martial artist, which helps you in self-defense because you're going to have a lot more tools that you can use, all right? In a self-defense situation, a bully's trying to hurt you, you know, or some person on the street's trying to take advantage of you, or somebody just might have lost their temper. Each of those 3 situations demand 3 different responses, all right? You don't want to treat each of those things the same. Somebody just lost their temper and got mad at you on the bus or on the sidewalk or in the store. You don't need to go automatically and go ballistic and, you know, wrist locks and arm bars and throws and stuff like that and trying to get away from them, all right? You're going to have to talk your way through that situation a lot of times. You're going to have to choose to kind of calm down a little bit and be able to kind of compose yourself and make a good choice. A bully's trying to hurt you. You need to make sure you can defend yourself appropriately, because a lot of times bullies do that stuff at school. All right, so if you go fight in school right away, you're going to probably get in trouble. All right, so it's not the best thing to do right away. If you have to, of course, you know, defend yourself at all costs. But at the same point in time, if you're at school, there's teachers around. Might want to be able to maintain distance and control the distance, have confidence to be able to use blocks and movement and footwork to get away, be able to use grip breaks, all that kind of good stuff until you get to a teacher. Somebody on the street is trying to take advantage of you. Yeah, right then and there, you need to respond right away. So that's why you need the different tools to be able to work with. And so the way we work in all this stuff, these drills that you've been doing the last few weeks are stuff that's going to help you at home, because you don't need a partner with anything that we've shown so far. You don't need a partner. You don't need mats. With anything we've shown right now, you don't need mats. It helps, but you don't need it. All right? You can use this stuff at home. You don't even need a gi if you don't have one. All right? All the stuff that we're showing you is how to be able to do this stuff on your own at home. The gi helps, all that kind of good stuff. The mats help, but you don't need all that stuff. All right? This is stuff you should be doing on your home anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is going to talk about Shizen Huntai. Shizen Huntai is your fundamental natural posture. This posture works pretty much in any discipline that you do. What we do is we open up shoulder to shoulder and a half width. Our heels are sort of facing each other a little bit on an angle. Most of the weight's in our toes, not up where our heels are up off the mat like this here, but the weight is forward into our toes. Our knees are bent right here just like this, and my hands are up, center line. Elbows tucked in tight just like this here. Say hi to Miss Lisa. Oh, she says bye. Bye, Miss Lisa. Hands are up just like this here, and my back is rolled, my shoulders are rolled, chin is tucked, and I'm really good base balance, small, right? Shizen Huntai. If you notice this position, what does it look like for our wrestlers? Well, it looks like a square stance in our wrestling. All right, what does it look like for jiu-jitsu? It looks like a beginning stance in jiu-jitsu. If I'm standing here like this and striking, I wouldn't stand here, but I would be in what we call Judo Huntai, all right? But it's the same situation, all right? So the way I know that I'm in this position here, if I'm standing straight, look, my hands are right here on my thighs, not really doing anything. But when I bend my knees, watch where my hands go. They go down, all right? But if I bend over without bending my knees, my hands go down. So it's not a matter of getting my hands to go right here inside my thighs any way I can, all right? I want to make sure that I don't bend over to make that happen, and I don't want to turn my hands in to make that happen, all right? When I bend my knees and my feet are in the proper position, watch my hands, and I bend the knees, and I keep my back bowed a little bit, shoulders rolled, chin tucked, my hands automatically go right inside the thighs, just like this here. All right, same stuff on the side here. They're right here on my thighs. If I bend over, they go down. If I turn my hands in, they go down. Both wrong, but when I do my feet, get my feet turned in the right spot, where my heels are facing each other, put the weight in my toes, bend my knees, keep my back curved a little bit, keep my posture up, shoulders rolled, chin tucked, right here. Now automatically my hands go inside. That's why we call this Shizen Huntai. All right? It's a good posture to be in. Hands up, square stance wrestling, hands up judo, hands up jiu-jitsu, those types of things. Shizen Huntai. From here, how do we move? Really important. Notice that when I first started moving here to pick this foot up, my whole body went this way. I don't want to do that, all right? Because if I do this now, all of my weight is on this leg here. This leg is free to be swept, grabbed, taken down. Also, I can be spun, I can be pulled, I can be thrown, all right? Because I'm locked down here. I don't want that. So when I go forward in this drill called a yumiashi, I pick my toes up just a little bit in Shizen Huntai, and I just slide this foot straight forward, just like this here, all right? Notice that when I do that, I don't lean this way. I come forward, 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 forward. Listen to the ground. See that? And when I go back, I pick my heels up. Some of you kids think it's like Michael Jackson, like moonwalk. Really bad moonwalk. I used to be able to do it. Hold on, let me see. I can't do it. All right, so anyway, don't be trying it, Evan. All right, here we go. So we go back. I want to pick my heels up, just like this here, okay? So again, when I go forward, I'm not rocking back and forth. All right? And I'm going back. Good smile. And I'm not rocking back and forth. All right? Shizen Huntai. So this is called a Yumiashi. I'm going to go forward and back. I don't want to cross my feet. And forward, let's go. I don't want to be rocking back and forth. I don't want my hands up here. They're inside. I don't want to be bending over. Notice that I want to make sure my posture stays the same. My stance stays the same. You're working that. Good. Let's go forward. Let's go back. Yumiashi. Good. Now, back in the day in Judo, when I first started Judo, we would do that for like 20 minutes in the class. Talk about boring, all right? But it really helped. So, if you got 20 minutes extra time, which I know you do, right? You can go try it. I know you probably won't do it. But do it as much as you can, all right? So take a few moments, pause the video, go and find a spot where you can do it. Put a little timer on. Don't go fast. We're not going, all right? We're not shuffling the feet. We're not rocking. It's not about that. It's about doing it as fast as you can. Notice again that I'm not rocking back and forth. My posture is still where it needs to be. Moving, moving, back and forward. All right? That's a Yumiashi. All right? Go work. A Yumiashi. Did you do it? Cool. All right? Did you do some Michael Jackson moonwalking? I know you did, Evan. All right, so here we go. What we're going to be doing next stance, we're going to be working what's called Sugiashi, but it's not from Shizen Huntai, it's from Jigo Huntai. Jigo Huntai means a defensive posture. So in Shizen Huntai, I'm here, right? Kind of here, all right? But when I come here, this is a good starting position. I've got good solid base right here. But when I really need to defend, I want to get myself a little bit lower. So if I'm moving a little bit more, striking a lot is in Jigo Huntai, okay? And what I do with that is I'm same situation, all right? I want to go down just like we did before, hands on the inside of the thigh, but on this one, I bring my right leg back and I pivot, just like we did when we did last week's Inochi 10, which are fortress kata. We were here, right? And I step straight back and I turn. That is all we're doing, all right? So when I'm coming here, I come back, and I turn. The reason I keep my hands here is because it makes me not go like this when I move. See how my hands went up and they went down. I don't want to be doing that. So if I'm here and I go back in my fighting stance, I'm here, I move back, I want to move back. I don't want to come up in here because when I come up to move, all the weight goes in this leg. Easy to sweep this leg, take me down on this side, throw me, all sorts of stuff. It's hard for me to move when that's happening. So when I go back, I'm here, all right? It's all about lightening the load on the feet and being light on your feet and being able to be mobile without locking your feet down to be able to be easy to be taken down, all right? So that's why we put our hands again from here. We open the feet just where they're supposed to be, tuck the chin, roll the shoulders, bend the knees, hands on the inside. Now I'm in the right spot, all right? Again, here. That's where I'm in the right spot. Bring the right leg back. And now we're here, Jigo Huntai, all right? This is called Hidari Jigotai. That means my left leg is in the front in my defensive stance. So Jigo Huntai, but if I want to call which side is in front, I would say Hidari, which is left, and Jigotai. Hidari Jigotai. Jigo Huntai is our defensive stance. Shizen Huntai is our natural stance. But if we identify which leg is in the front, then we say Hidari. Instead of Jigo Huntai, we say Hidari Jigotai. All right, so we're Hidari Jigotai. So now, I'm going to be facing you, so I'm a little backwards. So I'm going to go and put my left leg back, but you bring your right leg back, okay? So it looks like now that we're on the same side. We're mirroring each other. So that means your left leg will be forward, my right leg will be forward. But we're going to call it, for your sake, Hidari Jigotai. And what we do is we take this front foot and we slide out and then slide, slide, slide. Notice my hands stay in the same spot. And then I go back, and back, and back, and back. and back. I'm not going up and I'm not going down, all right? Staying level when I move. Good drill here to help you to be able to move. So notice now from the side, right? I'm going to go Hidari Jigotai. That means my left leg is in the front. Shizen Huntai, but now I'm in Jigotai. Left leg in front, Hidari Jigotai. When I go backwards now, look. And I don't bring my feet together. Really important, okay? I don't do this. And I don't go up and then down. I stay here. Shoulder and a half, shoulder width. Shoulder and a half, shoulder width. When I go forward, my feet are still on the mat, all right? Just like this here. See that? When I'm going forward, look again. We're shoulder wide, shoulder and a half. I go Hidari Jigotai. See how I have that space in between my feet? When I go forward, I don't start doing this. See, all of a sudden the space is gone. My feet are in line with each other. Now I'm moving sideways. I don't want to move sideways. I want to stay in my stance. All right? And then I go back. Now we're going to switch to McGee Jigotai. Now we go forward. And we go back. Now we go Hidari Jigotai. Now we go forward. And we go back. Now we go to McGee Jigotai. And we go forward. And we go back. All right, again, these things, when we did these drills back in the day, we do them forever, all right? Along with our ukemi. That was all we did for the first year in judo, was just ukemi and these Ayumi and Sugiashi, Tai Sabaki, those types of things, all right? Because that's what's building the foundation. And that's very, very important, okay? Because if you don't have a proper foundation, you can't build the house. That's why we always go back and visit these drills, but we also add fun in there too, right? That's important because we want you to want to come back to class. And if all you did when you came to class is, you know, Yumiyashi, Sugiyashi, you probably not want to come back to class. So what we do though is we give you these drills to do on your own, all right? We want to try to make it fun, keep it fun, but this discipline of doing these little details and taking care of the small things is really going to help you. So take a few moments, press pause, go out there and work. All right, I think you've been away long enough. So here we go. Come on, let's get started on some other stuff, okay? Now we're gonna do a thing called Tai Sabaki. Tai Sabaki is super important, right? How to move on the ground, okay? Really important as far as moving your feet on the ground, but switching your base. When I go forward, if I try to step like this, notice again that when I do this, the weight is not, my hip is inside my knee. So that means I'm heavy on the leg and I want to go this way. In order to make that not happen, I have to go like this if I want to move my leg straight forward to switch my base. If I go on the outside like this, I can, but there's a moment that I'm like whoop, a little off balance. So when we go forward, I want to take this foot and I want to bring it, I'm in here, hands on the inside, I want to bring it in, circle shoulder, and then out. So I make a small circle and come in. So when I'm going in, I go in and out. When I do this, it makes me line up. See how I'm really nice and even over my base. And then I go back out, and then I drop my weight. Then I go in and I switch. Notice my shoulders go back. In and switch. Now when I'm going backwards, all right, switch my base. I didn't switch my base. I'm going to take this foot. If I go in like this to go back, now all the weight is on this leg. So I want to now take my leg and make a circle going out. That lets me pivot and do a good job of keeping my base. When I go forward, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Now when I go backwards, we're going to go out and in. Notice I'm not rocking back and forth. Look at where my head is. My head stays right in the middle of that column right back there. And then when I come back, here. So this is called Tai Sabaki. There's other drills that we do with Tai Sabaki where we go 45s, 45s, 45 back, 45 back, and then we go all the way 180, that's 90 degrees, sorry, 90 degree. Then we go 180, then we go 180, and then we go 360, big circles. We're not gonna mess with that. We try to incorporate it into a functional drill for you on how to be able to switch your base. Accomplishing the same thing. Tai Sabaki. Good. Take a few moments. Go practice. Very good. Okay, here's what we're going to do next now, okay? We're going to come out. We're going to put all this together with our hands here. It's important that I don't start doing this, all right? My hands are here on the inside because I am true to my base. I'm paying attention to feedback, all right? If I'm honest about what's happening here, then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do a good job. If I'm not, and I'm like, okay, and I'm cheating a little bit to get my hands to stay there, that's not going to work, okay? If my hands start coming up, it's because my legs are straightening. If my hands stay down with my legs straight, it's because I'm bending over, all right? If my hands are turning on the inside, it's because I'm bringing my hands inside. I shouldn't. My hands should stay just like this, and they should drop. Notice my hands didn't go together. The reason my hands went inside is because my knees went out a little bit, right? Because I'm inside my fighting stance, all right? Defensive stance, jigotai, jigohutai, shisenhuntai, all right? From here, that's where I'm at, right? So we're gonna work all the way through. We're gonna move forward, you can switch, you can come back, you can switch, you can come here, you can walk, you can go straight back, you can turn, you can come, you can pivot all the way around, you can move, but again, it's all about lateral movement, turning, keeping those knees bent. Practice that real quick, take a few seconds, we'll come back. Cool, now hands up. Remember again, we talk about this all the time. What needs to go from here to here? Great, we need to try to stick it in, all right? Hands inside, hands up, just like in center line position, framing, just like when we were doing star block, Achi-chin, all that stuff. All right, same thing here. Wrestling, same thing here. Judo, same thing here. Jiu-jitsu, striking, it all goes right here, okay? So now, when I'm here, I want to make sure, again, that I'm not standing tall. We don't fight like this, and we don't do judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, anything. We have good base, so hands up now, same deal. If my hands were here, then it would be where they're supposed to be. But now I'm gonna move, switch, switch. Whatever hand, whatever leg's in front is the hand that's in front. If I switch, this hand goes. If I switch, this hand goes. So I'm moving around, make sure your posture's good, make sure you're not crossing your feet, don't bring your feet together, don't pick your foot up, don't rock back and forth. All right, we're moving, all right? Very good. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Good. Do that for about a minute, 2 minutes. Sounds good, right? You should make sure your heart rate goes up. You should break a little bit of a sweat. Have fun. All right, so look. Remember, I said we needed some stuff, okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to work on taking the belt off. You don't have to work at that, all right? Take your gi top off. Find your broom or whatever device you have. I was able to find this here. Broom would work just fine. All right, I put my gi top over the top of this thing. All right, make sure the broom is like clean, so make sure you got that taken care of, okay? And then I just put this down, just like this here. And all I'm gonna do is hold in what we call iotsu, all right? Sleeve and lapel grip. Now notice the broom is nice and straight. I'm going to walk forward, take one step with my left foot forward, and now the broom, oh, fell down, whoa, slippery, went on an angle. So if that happens to you, you can get a little piece of carpet. Let me be right back, don't go anywhere. I just grabbed one of my mat squares here. No big deal. Okay, So I'm going to put this on a mat square so it doesn't slip out from under me. I'm going to go here, and now notice the broom handle is straight. So I step forward. Now it's on an angle back. And I did not push it with my arms. I didn't take a big old hopping step. I just took one small step forward. That's it. Good. Now I'm going to take my right leg and step back. And now look at the angle. Now I'm going to face you, so you can do this. And now we're going to take one, I'm going to pull my hand to the side a little bit, just like this, as I take a step to the left. One step. And all of a sudden, look what happened to the broom. Now I'm going to take one step to the right. Good. Now from here, I'm going to go back. It's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to go on an angle on this corner. Go this way, like this. And now, not only did the broom go this way, but it also went that way. So let's look at that from the side. And now I go back this way. It's doing the same thing, all right? So I go on the little corner back this way, here. And then we go back this way on this corner. And then I'm going to go back this way on this corner, okay? So we're going to go in 8 directions: forward, backward, sideways, sideways. In box number 1, we talk about a quadrant footwork. Box number 3, box number 2, box number 4, all right? So it looks like this. Now all you're going to do, Hayotsu, sleeve and lapel grip. I'm not jerking the broom everywhere. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't take much. From the side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many of y'all know what that is that we just did? That's right, I heard you. Hoppo no kazushi, all right? 8 methods of off balance. Kazushi is off balance, all right? Kazushi is the first step that you need for anything, all right? It just means off balance. If I'm going to throw somebody, I need them to be off balance. Off balance could be as simple as a foot being locked down. So if I put all my weight on one foot, it makes it really easy to throw me because I am off balance. I'm not balanced between both feet, all right? Off balance could be both knees straight, so my legs are straight like the broomstick, and I'm going back on my heels, like this here, all right? Back on my heels are locked down. I'm going to go backwards. If I get pulled forward on my toes, now I'm easy to be thrown this way. If I get locked down on the side of my foot, easy to be thrown. If I get locked on the side of this foot, easy to be thrown. I'm on one leg. I just almost fell right there. If I go back on my heel in one foot, see, I'm going to go that way. If I get pulled forward on my pinky toe this way, I'm going to be able to be thrown that way, and again that way and that way. So 8 directions, and each of those directions, there's a full set of throws that are given, all right? If I go and pull somebody on the toes, there's a set of throws I can do. Back on the heels, set of throws I can do. On the side of the foot, set of throws. On the pinky toe, set of throws. On the back heel, set of throws, all right? Takedowns, sweeps, all sorts of stuff, okay? We'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to do some fun little things with you guys as far as like classes and quizzes and kind of putting all this stuff together as far as your terminology. Going to help you out with the general information knowledge, not just in judo, but in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Shukido, martial arts, wrestling. There's a whole history of wrestling, all right? It's a great, great history. that wrestling has as well, okay? So it's gonna help you across the board, all right? So you're gonna see that coming your way. It's gonna be really fun to do. Mom and dad's great thing for the kids to be able to do on their own. Adults, great to be able to know what it is you're practicing and know who paid the price and made the sacrifice for us to enjoy what we enjoy today. Man, I can tell you right now, judo, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, even when I was coming up, was easier than it was when the generation before me was coming up. But today, you guys got it golden, man. You guys got all this access available to you. It's so accessible. It was so hard for all of us to be able to do what we did, to find people that were qualified in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo and so on and so forth. All right, I was blessed and fortunate that it was in my family. And so I was able to find that with Kiyoshi. And then, of course, Professor Ma came along. And then, so it was hard, but it wasn't as hard as those guys when they were coming up, the small dojos, the small classes. I remember Kiyoshi telling me he'd drive to one of his instructors 2 hours one way. And he would go 2 hours just one way to be able to travel, to be able to work with him because he wanted to learn so much. So what we're doing right now you have this ability. I mean, think about this. If we were going through what we're going through now, a few years ago, you wouldn't be able to take these classes that we're doing right now. And even though it's a hard work for me to get this stuff out to you, it's also a blessing because it's able to be able to find out who's disciplined and working. And I love the fact that I'm seeing at least 30 of you guys every single day checking in and doing your classes and communicating back to me and moving forward. That is awesome. Keep up that hard work, all right? All right, last thing, and then we're going to move on. Hey guys, how y'all doing? All right, I got Josiah surprised. Look at this.
What y'all think?
Look at that. You got the beard. You got scruff happening. He's trying to grow a goatee and a beard out. What do you guys think? Should he shave it? No? All right, we got a surprise for you guys this week. You're going to see it, okay?
Really?
But Josiah's going to be videoing just something here real quick. So, okay, so look. We talked already about the tape, all right? If you have this tape, that's great. If you have electrical tape, it works too. All right, whatever you do not leave the tape down after you do the drill. All right? Take it up, clean up after yourselves, all right? Really important, all right? If you get to go outside and you have like a sidewalk you can use your sidewalk chalk. Ask mom and dad, please, make sure you clear all this stuff with mom and dad. And don't get me in trouble. Anyway, okay, so look. What we're going to do is take the tape. You guys have seen this before. We do it at the academy. It helps you, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start. Just look at my feet, Joe. All right? I'm setting it up for me, okay? So here's my right foot. I'm going to put my toe right there. Here's my left foot. I'm going to put my toe right there, all right? Now from here, I'm going to put another mark to act like this is somebody else's foot right here, all right? And I'm not really too concerned about their other foot, okay? So I'm gonna go from here and I'm gonna have to take my foot on this angle, the tape, and then I'm gonna take my other foot and put it here, all right? At the academy, you use all this different color tape, all right? But you don't really need it if you know what you're doing, okay? So my foot is here, my toe is here. See the green tape? I know you can't, it's kind of hard to see because of the wood. But I'm gonna take my right foot and I'm gonna move it. See the angle that I put it just like that there? And then I'm gonna take my left foot. See the other piece of tape? I'm not worried about that one. I'm gonna take my left foot and put it right there. So both of my feet now are right here, just like this here. See where I'm at? And then I'm gonna come back. So it is 2 moves. 2. I'm going to go 1 and 2. I'm going to go again. 1 and 2. That is it. Step back. We're going to go 1 and 2. All right? Look, we talked about if you had a hanger and you had the over thing, over the door hook, that's awesome. All right? That's a really cool thing to have. Okay? You can take this. Put it up. Practicing good social distancing stuff, right? So anyway, my gi is here, right? So I'm not going to hold on like this here. I want to move at the same time. Does that make sense? And we're going to practice uchikomi on a throw that we just did about a month ago, called Morete Siwe Nage. It's a two-handed shoulder throw. Really good throw, all right, for jiu-jitsu and judo, because I'm not coming like Ippon Seoi Nage, where I come here, and if I get messed up here, they can take me and look, this guy chokes me out. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. All right, so this one, when I come around, this hand comes, remember. I make that fist, and I drive my elbow across all the way under his other arm. And this hand here, I'm going to go on the inside. I don't go underneath. Remember, we talked about with Sensei Model when he came in. Great grip that he showed was on the inside. Very awesome grip right here. Just like this. And I go on the inside. So that way when I lift the elbow, I have inside arm control. Just like in wrestling, when I come in, single tie on the, I want this inside control here. This helps me go underneath, shoot in, stuff like that. Same situation here for a judo, okay? So when I come inside here, I step with my right foot and I get my hand, and then I come around and I'm inside. Notice now my feet are right where they're supposed to be. And I'm all the way against the door. But the other thing you notice, we just talked about at the beginning of class, Shizen Huntai, Jigo Huntai. How far my knees are bent. I'm here. I don't ever start right here. We never start here. We're here, all right? When I come in, I even get lower. So when I step here, look all of a sudden how low I am. And then when I turn, look how low I become now. My knees are really bent. I want to get my hips below my friend's hips. So when I come here like this here, I come inside, I step, and turn. That's one. And I come back. And I step and turn. And notice, look where I'm looking. I've checked the time, and I'm looking over here. Notice again, everything is turning. If I could throw this door, I would throw this door over this way, because that's where I'm projecting. All right? I don't want to come here and stop like this and look, say, how am I doing, Mom? How am I doing that? No. You're going to turn all the way. See? I know I love looking at the camera, but when I come inside here, I'm not looking at the camera anymore, all right? So if I don't have the gi, if you don't have the hanger, you don't have the over-the-door hook, we said it's not a huge deal. You can still do your uchikomi, you just act like it is. This entry is an entry for a lot of throws, a ton of throws. All right, your hip throws, shoulder throws, leg throws, all those. This entry is for that, all right? So I'm just gonna come here and just get low every single time. You come back, each, knee, san, shi. Again, look, I'm all the way bumped up against here. Go, rope, shish, hachi. Get the knees down. Cool, shoot. All right? And you just do that over and over and over. I want you to do at least 30 of those. And 30 is not enough. So do 50. Actually, 50 is not enough. Do 100. All right?
Lord have mercy.
100 is not enough. I want you to do it till the sun goes down. No, I'm just kidding. Just do it a lot. All right? The more you do it, the better you're going to get. All right? So I want you guys to keep working. Remember, live life on purpose. And Josiah?
Never quit.
My bad. Stay right there. Ready? Kyokusei.
Ah.
Kamiza ni, wherever that is. Ready?
Ray.
Shimoseki ni. There he is. Sensei ni. Us.
Us.
Man, we got to keep it happening.
And
Good job, guys.
handshake.
No. Social distancing, fist bump.
Oh.